Hi there, it's Jo here from Creative Empowerment, and today we're doing a pick a card reading all about love. What is it that you need to know about love today? We have 4 piles, and as you can see, they're all hearts. And I'm starting differently, as you can see again, because we have the crystals out first. Today's pick a card, we're going to focus on the crystal energy. And not all of them are crystals, this is a stone. And then we're going to bring in some cards again, so you'll be able to choose with crystals first, maybe make a selection or narrow it down, and then the card will help too. So the piles haven't been drawn, so focus in on love relationships in your life and focus in on the 4 hearts. We have our first heart, which is a beautiful blue calcite crystal, really very calming. Pile 2, which is a beautiful rainbow obsidian, very deep healer. We have this beautiful stone that was from Africa, I think. I haven't been there, but it's been shaped and painted. And finally, I think this is an agate. I think I've forgotten. Pretty sure it is. It's an agate. Pink agate, maybe? I'm not sure. If you know, please write it in the comments below. Have a look at those 4 hearts and see if any of them are calling you. And now we have our 4 cards, and these 4 cards are kind of going to give the reading its central point. And these are the Soul Journey cards, lesson cards from James Van Praagh, and so they all have a word on them. And the word will be sort of like a pivot point or a central point in this love reading today. Please use your third eye or your psychic senses to allow you to be drawn to one of the piles. And this is all what you need to know, what's coming up for you around love. And as always, when you're ready, you can jump to the reading that is right for you. So if you've chosen pile number 1, there'll be a timestamp below, pile 2, pile 3, and pile 4 in this pick a card reading all about love today. You will be able to jump straight to your reading. And as always, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel for more readings like this, and I'll see you in your reading. Hi, pile 1. If you chose the blue calcite heart, then this is your first card, and it's all about service. I feel good when I can help others. So pile 1, there's a lot of green here, so there's a lot of heart healing, and perhaps for you up until now, your relationships have centered around the service that you can bring to others. So it may have felt like you might not have been getting a lot back from love relationships, or a particular love relationship, that you might have been the one that felt like you were giving all the time. And for me, I feel like that's a bit of a karmic cycle that you've been going through. You've been tied to certain individuals in the past. So this could be one particular relationship, or it could be several that you have had, and it feels like you've been playing the same karma over again. So it has felt like you haven't got what you needed to get out of the relationships. When I say that, that's not 100% true, but what I mean by that is that you have felt like you've been giving, that your part in the relationship was the giver, that you were there for the other person, so to speak. And that feels very strong. I'm getting that very, very strongly. And this is up until now, I feel. Up until now, this has been the case for you. But let's bring in some more cards and have a look. Put some oracle cards down to help us, get some more information. And we have some tarot cards to come. So we've got the Bone Collector, which is card number 1 in the reverse position. And this card talks about having everything you need, but it feels to me that you don't feel like you have everything you need. So in the upright position, this is a person coming from their point of strength. And this to me feels like the past for you. It feels very much that, and still probably the present. So for some of you. But the bone collector talks about, sitting in this sacred circle, having all the things that you might need to draw on. And I'm feeling that you don't feel like you have those things. We're in the reverse position. So I feel like you don't feel like you have the skills, the strength, the knowledge, whatever it might be, to either move forward in the relationships that you do have or find the relationship that you're longing for. And then we have details, details, details. And again, this is in the reverse position. So we're looking at, at something out of, sorry about that. We're looking at something being out of balance for you here around relationships. And this feels very much about the present. So it feels like it's out of balance, as I said before, because you feel like you've been in relationships purely to help others. And I feel like that is a karmic debt that you have been paying off. So yes, this feels like a karmic debt that you have been paying off, but it actually feels like you're gaining clarity around that. If you have a look at this, this highlighted section, so the card's reversed, even though it's talking about details, 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 it's like there's important news, is what I want to say, around clarity for you. So you're gaining clarity around your love relationship or relationships. And what I'm saying relationships, because I feel like you're going back into the past and revisiting how it is you were in those relationships, because you're gaining perspective. And the details card is all about that. It's paying attention to all those tiny details. Because here we have a little mouse, making sure this is focused. We have a little mouse, and the mouse is drawing your attention to the clarity. Important notes. But for me, I'm saying important news, because there's very much you either changing directions or using new knowledge. So like there's all those books there, you're using some new knowledge that you're gaining, and it's bringing clarity to the situation. So for you, you may be in a relationship that perhaps there's going to be a change in balance because this karmic shift is happening for you. And then we have the last card, which feels very much like the future for you. And the tarot cards, I've definitely pulled past, present, and future there for you too. And this is a 9, and this is about coming home. This is about feeling at home in your body, but it's also about relationships. So it's all about you feeling good about you and you feeling at home in your relationship. So whether you are single right now or whether you are in a partnership, a love partnership, it doesn't really matter. What matters here is your frame of mind and how you're proceeding or going forward. And so this card is talking to you about feeling at home. So you feel at home not only where you live, in your body, in your relationship, in your work. Like it's not the card that says, oh, everything's perfect in my life, because that's not how it feels. The card feels more as in you start understanding these details. You start understanding that it's your thoughts that make you think this way, and you have paid off this karmic debt. So it's time for you to start living, well, your best life is the words that came to me from Spirit. Whether that relates or you can relate to that or not, I'm not sure. But it's all about living from the heart and living from the fact that you own this space. It's yours. And the love relationship in your life is the one that you want and on your terms. And so I feel like we're getting a really good momentum and movement here for you with these cards. I'm going to bring in the tarot cards. Okay, so we've got pile number 1. We have 3 tarot cards that are sitting directly under those cards, and they are past, present, and future. So in relationships in the past, you feel like you have been juggling, but it feels like it's been out of control with the 2 of Pentacles. So it feels like you have been juggling, and that to me feels like your own needs as well as those of others. And perhaps in the past you haven't actually been able to, like sail on calm waters. It always felt like there was ups and downs because you were always putting other people's needs before your own, and that created this massive juggle for you, which was never sustainable and always created conflict within your body and within your life. And it creates that martyr, feeling within us. It creates that resentment, all that stuff. So for you, in the past, relationships have been a juggle where they've been completely out of balance, and for you, the balance was never right. For the person that you were with, the balance may have felt right, but it never, ever felt good to you. Or if this is still the same relationship, in the past, this is how you have behaved with this person. Because, relationships change all the time, no matter, depending on how long you're with somebody. And here we have the present, and this is the 9 of Cups, which is a great card for the present, because this is you getting it all together, getting your shit together kind of statement. But it's like you're getting all your cups in a row, and your cups behind you means that you feel secure and safe. Your cups being filled behind you means that you're in a great place in your life, in yourself. And this card really talks to me about how you feel in yourself. So it could be that things are starting to work out for you, but it could be that you're paying attention to the details and that you're understanding and that you're getting clarity around, why things have been the way they have. Because once we start understanding, that we might have been in this karmic cycle in relationships in our life, we're then able to use the knowledge and move forward and, get the best out of our love relationships. So this to me feels like this is the present, and it feels like I'm being drawn to the cheeks, the red cheeks, and I feel like that is you. You're not really used to feeling this way. You're not used to being in this position. So you can see that the arms are crossed here. So I feel like there's a little bit of resistance still in your body. However, you're moving into this space, and it is a good one for you. Because we talked about, home, that's a 9, that's a 9. You're completing a cycle. You're completing a karmic cycle to me. That's how this feels. And then we have the Empress, which is a fantastic card, all about fertility, all about you coming in, and whether you're a female or a male, it doesn't matter. And we also have Venus, which is, the goddess of love. We have the wheat here, the beautiful water. So it's like your emotions are now starting to run freely. This is your future. So in your love relationships, you're going to get to this point where you feel like you're safe, you're at home. We have the home card here, that it's like you're commanding respect. That's how I feel. The Empress is here talking to you, that you command respect because you know that you love yourself now. You know that you're at home with your being, and you're not here purely to serve other people. That has been the case, and you did that really well, but it created conflict within your body. And now the Empress is coming to talk to you about, gaining this is the divine feminine. This is you reclaiming your own power, but your own feminine power. And what that means is that you can be loving to yourself. You can be loving and kind to yourself as well as a partner. So it's like you're opening up this other side of yourself, because you're realizing that it's not just about them. You're not here to give service to everybody else besides yourself. You're here to give service to all people, but yourself first. You come first, and that's when you're really owning your divine feminine. You're really embodying the idea of being a divine goddess. And if you're a male, then it's being kinder to yourself. It's being more gentle with yourself and allowing those gentler aspects of your personality or who you are or how you behave to come into your love relationships and to your own relationship with self. So we're really seeing quite a beautiful telling of a story here, pile 1. You're really moving through some karmic stuff, and you have been in your relationships. So if they haven't been the greatest, then you can understand that by paying off this karmic service debt, you're then able to shift into what feels better for you. And it's not that you had to do it in the way that you've done it, but it's the way you chose to do it, and there was nothing wrong with it. But it's time now for you to get some clarity and start looking at building yourself up, building how you feel up, and building up your relationships with self and then your love relationships. That's all I'm seeing for you today, pile 1. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hope to see you again in the future. Bye for now. Hi, pile 2. If you chose the beautiful rainbow obsidian, this is your pile today. And your first card, not a great card in a love reading, but we'll work with it and see where it takes us. We have envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. And I'm really getting a very big Cancer vibe from this card, really feeling Cancerian energy, so very much about the home and love. But the other thing that I'm really feeling is like a crab, that you or the person that you're involved with really draws everything into, in and doesn't let it go. So I'm really feeling this very much control and what's the other words? Control and containment are the words that I really am feeling about this. And this is a lot of, we've got a lot of sacral and solar plex energy happening here. So it feels like there's quite a lot of, I want to say a bit nasty. It feels a little bit nasty around this sort of stuff. It feels like there's a lot of control around you or the person that you're with. You'll know which way this suits in your life. Let's bring some more cards out. And so different from the last pile, we're only having one tarot card to start off with. And here we have the moon in the reverse. And I'm really feeling like this is a really deep pile 2. I'm feeling like there's a lot of emotional intensity, feeling there's a lot of shadow side stuff happening, which you picked the right stone for that. It's volcanic. It's when things happen kind of fast. It's really sort of a lot of hot-headedness or hot-bloodedness. That's that feeling, and it's deep. It's really deep. So the moon can talk to us about illusions, and it's in the reverse position. This is talking about hidden secrets and things that you may or may not know, but it also feels like a dark night of the soul for pile 2. So the first card we had was envy, and I talked about a lot of control and, hanging on to stuff. And what I'm really being drawn to here is the 2 dogs. And in this card, we have the one dog howling at the moon. The other one is silent. And that feels like this relationship that you are in. It feels like one of you is verbally, like voicing everything. The other one is silent. The other one is immovable and not showing their colours, not showing what it is that they need to express. They feel like they're, which is very much what I was talking about with this envy card here. And you might be a Cancer or your partner, or have a placement, a strong placement with Cancer. But there is one of you that is hanging on to everything, and the other one is like it's just flying out. And I'm not sure which one is you and which one is your partner, but we really do have, and there's this space here of, going into something. There's really that deepening of this type of emotion. It's not like it's lightening up anytime soon, is kind of what I'm being told to say. Bringing some more cards in for you. So we have some more tarot cards to clarify the moon, because the moon is like your big card. It's like it's everything in this reading for you today, pile 2. So we have something quickly happening with the 8 of Wands. So there's some sort of change. It could be travel. It doesn't feel like that to me. It feels more that there's going to be an emotional shift in the relationship. And that could be internally for you, but I'm being really drawn to the water and the fact that one side of the water is quite, has a very definitive line, so it knows its boundaries and edges. The other one, it's just bleeding into the hill. So it's kind of like, I feel that's you. I feel like you don't know where your boundaries and your edges are, which is why we're really getting this one person holding tight. And that could be you hanging on tight to something, but you don't know your boundaries and your edges. And it feels like perhaps your partner is, blurring those lines, and you're allowing that to happen at pile 2. Feels, it feels kind of like that almost, I feel really heavy. I feel kind of a lot of despair. I don't feel great in my body when I'm looking at these energies for you. Then we have the 3 of Cups, which is a great card. So this card here talks to me about you actually having some people around you that support you, having people who are ready to listen to you. You might go out with some girlfriends and have a drink, or boyfriends, or friends, full stop. And you might have some people there that are ready to listen to you, ready to help you. And it also feels like these people will support you to, grow into the person that you're going to be, and help you move through this energy here. Then we have the 4 of Swords in the reverse position. So this card here is talking to you about letting go, and like not retreating, but retreating for your own sanity, going within. And it feels like it's going to be forced upon you. And again, we have 3. So we have the 3 cups. So it could be that your friends are supporting you to, get some rest, to take some downtime, to get away from the situation that you may be in, pile 2. And like I said, there feels like there's this quickening energy, and this stone, the rainbow obsidian, really talks about that quickness. It talks about, it's a volcanic stone, so things happen very quickly, like imagine lava. So it's hot, it burns, it's dangerous, and then it stops and it freezes. So then you're given time to go through this rest. But it feels forced to me. This rest feels forced, and it could be a retreat. But this energy here feels like supportive friends. It feels like maybe friends do say to you, let's get away, because these 3 cards here could be talking to you about that, could be talking to you about getting out of this space. It could be some friends supporting you to get out of the relationship for some of you, but for others, it's just a pause in time so you can gather, what it is that you need to know. But I'm going to bring in some oracle cards so we can develop what's happening here for you, pile 2. We have some oracle cards to help us here. We have the Bone Collector, and this showed up in one of the other readings today. And this card in the reverse position talks to you about you not feeling like you have everything you need. So this could be, and because it's sitting next to this Envy card, which is, for me, feeling all about your solar plexus and your self-worth, and you maybe not believing in yourself. Maybe you've been told by your partner or other people in the past that you're not worthy, that you're not good enough, and it's like you've gone into your own shell, which is why I keep getting this Cancer thing. It's kind of like you just want to retreat because you don't feel good enough. And the Bone Collector here is all about that too. It's all about not feeling like you have everything you need. Whereas if this was in the upright position, the Bone Collector is a woman of, the feminine energy, but she has all she needs. Everything she needs is in her sacred circle. She's got all of this wisdom. She's got all of this medicine from other animals, and she knows what she needs to do to for anything in her life. However, at the moment, you're in this position, which is when you're feeling, it feels like you're doubting yourself. You actually feel like you're not trusting yourself, you're not trusting your intuition, you're not trusting who you are and how much of a wonderful person you are and how lovable you are. You're thinking that one person's interpretation is, is gospel, is the thing that you need to listen to, when your guides don't want you to listen to that at all, and they want you to understand that you have everything you need. It's simply out of balance at the moment. And most likely someone's been messing with your self-esteem and hurting you, quite possibly. Slow and steady. This to me also feels like the cards that we have at the base here, which are supporting you in this reading. And this is, just take everything slow and steady. You're in a state where you feel like you really need to recover. You need to be gentle with yourself and not beat yourself up. You need to be kind to yourself and, ask friends to support you. There's a lot of threes here. I don't know whether you have 3 people who can support you, or you are one of 3, or you have, there's an element here, and it's going to be different for everybody, but there's something here about being one of 3. Supportive energy around you. So it feels like there may even be a third person. That could be possible for some of you. And perhaps again, that could be the envy showing up in a different way. But for a lot of you, I feel like you've picked this pile 2 because there's a lot of destructive energy sort of happening in your relationship at the moment. And you do need a break. You do need to go slow and steady and work on yourself and build yourself up and allow your friends to do that for you at the moment, just until you've got your strength back. I'm going to pull another card for you, pile 2. So I wanted to pull another card because we have a lot of energy here that doesn't feel great, and I want you to know that this is a karmic cycle that you're completing. That you're successful. This is a success card. This is you moving through whatever it is that you're working on now. It may feel pretty crap, but the wheel turns and the wheel keeps turning, so that you know that this is going to improve. This is going to get better. So don't beat yourself up anymore. And there also feels to me like I'm really noticing the books that they're all reading. So there's a lot of knowledge to be gained from this experience for you. So don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. Pile 2, you're going through a big shift in your relationship, and not only with the person that you're in the relationship with, but in a lot of ways for you personally. So pile 2, not the greatest of readings for you today. I'm really sending lots of love your way, and I know that you're moving into a better space. It will take some time. As you can see, the wheel, it moves. It's moving for you. So just know that your guides want you to know that things are moving. Slow and steady wins the race. And you've got some good people around you, whether that be friends or family, to support you, and use them, lean on them. That's all I'm seeing for you today, pile 2. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and please join me for more readings like this. Bye for now. Hi, pile 3. If you chose this beautiful stone heart, then this is your reading for what you need to know about love today. And we have doubt. Our first card is doubt in the reverse. So it talks about, I release the need to know all the answers, but it's in the reverse position. So perhaps you feel like you need to know everything at the moment. Feels like you're forcing, pushing, wanting to know things that perhaps either are not yet for your ears or for you to understand or to know, or there's a lot of questioning for you around your relationship. So there's 2 very big, distinctive, piles within this pile. One is that you're wanting to know a lot, and the other one is that there's a lot of doubt going on around you and the relationship that you're in. So let's get some more cards for you, pile number 3, and have a look at where we're going with this. So we're starting with 1 tarot card, pile 3, and we have our beautiful Knight of Wands, who's very fiery, very passionate, very quick, sometimes rushes into things, without thinking things through, and lots of action happening, lots of doing, lots of things going on. And this is that traditional, knight in shining armor. Is very fast, is, very charming and all the rest of it. But there may be a little bit of a, what do you call it? He may be burnout before he, maybe doesn't have the staying power of some of the other cards or the other knights. But it's very passionate and very white hot is what we want to talk about. We have some more tarot cards coming out for you, and very, very interesting cards for you today, pile 3. We have the Page of Wands, we have the Knight of Swords, let me make sure you can see them, and the Queen of Swords. So we have all the court cards out. So these could be people in your relationships or relationship. So this could represent people who are around you. I'm feeling it's more to do with the kind of energies that these people bring in, but I also want to draw your attention to the fact that these could be people. There could be a young person, or you could be a young person, or your partner could be a young person, or act that way. So the page here is talking about naivety, not having a lot of experience in something, but being passionate, being excited, ready to jump into stuff and, get the job done, or fall in love, get excited about falling in love and not worry about the consequences. And that's this relationship that you're in. Perhaps that's your partner or yourself. And then we have the Knight of Swords sitting directly under the Knight of Wands. And here, again, we've got the speedier, like the Knight of Swords is rushing in to do whatever it might be. But there's a mental element here. So we're talking about fire and passion going on, but there's also this mental element. So the Knight of Swords is coming in, and he's sort of like cutting to the chase. There's a lot of quick fired communication coming with the Knight of Swords, and perhaps because there is this fiery energy, that there is a lot of fiery kind of banter between the two of you. Perhaps you are people who say what you want, very free spirited, and it just flows. However, sometimes it cuts to the quick or to the bone, and sometimes it's it's not as delicate and loving as perhaps a cups or the water element, and perhaps it's a bit jarring. It's not, look at the clouds behind this Knight of Swords. Perhaps it's not always loving. Perhaps it is a bit harsh sometimes, this energy of this relationship that you're in. And then we have the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords really knows, she's patient, she's persistent, and she knows what she wants, and she's very commanding. She's coming from a real commanding position. So before, this is about, rushing in. Again, lots of rushing in this relationship that you're in, pile 3. But the Queen of Swords is here to talk to you about knowing. The Queen of Swords is this mental aspect from the swords, but she knows what she wants. She's ready to cut through, and I see this sword cutting right through the middle. She's ready to cut through the bullshit. She's ready to cut through all the things that might be hurtful, and to say it how it is, to say, yep, this is what I will not put up with anymore. And I feel that there's a need for that to come into this relationship that you're in, pile 3. So that in the doubt before, I talked about the fact that there's one of you, or one part of you is doubting some of the things that are happening in this relationship. And now that I look at this stuff here, I don't feel that I feel that if you are doubting, I think you know within that there are some things that are not quite right in this love relationship. Doesn't mean you need to throw it out and start again. It just means that there are, there's a lot of passion, there's a lot of excitement, but there's a lot of, maybe harsh words too. A lot of harsh words. There's a lot of cutting to the chase, but perhaps in a negative way. There's the swords here are talking to me about, perhaps conflict, but definitely communication that is not necessarily beautiful and loving and kind to each other. And the Queen of Swords knows that she doesn't want that. So whether that's the divine feminine for either of you, and perhaps both of you, you know that you don't want this. However, there's this dynamic that's happening in this relationship, but you may be doubting that because of this passion that it's not right, but you need to put a stop to the bits that you don't like. And then there's the other bit, that the other side of this doubt card, which I talked to you about in the beginning, which is that you're doubting, what you see or what you understand, that you might have doubts about this relationship. And I feel because it's out of balance, it's like you need to start listening to your doubts. You need to start listening to the intuitive knowledge that you're getting from yourself. Yes, there's some wonderful, passionate excitement sort of happening here. There's this beautiful naivety of perhaps both partners, but there's also some detrimental stuff that's happening in this relationship. So I'm going to bring in some more cards and let's get a better picture of what's going on. And here we have some cards to help us get a better picture about what's going on. And so here we have the 9 reversed and Stormfields. When this card comes out in the upright position, it talks about a necessary storm. It talks about, like when you have that storm that breaks up, some, like you've had a really, really hot day, or you've had whatever's kind of day, but then this storm comes through, it clears everything away. And then when the storm has gone, it feels better. There's all this breakup of energy, like a thunderstorm where all the energy becomes dissipated because everything gets broken up. But it's in the reverse position for you, pile 3. And I feel like that's you doubting that there is things that need to be, shaken up, broken up, dispersed is the words that Spirit wants me to use, that you're doubting your intuition, your knowingness that there's something wrong here. And that's why, Spirit wants you to understand what's happening here. And then we have 16, which is about rescue. And this card is talking about, perhaps you have this idealized view. I'm really being focusing on here on our beautiful, let's see if I can bring that in a little bit. See if it's focused though. So here we have our damsel in distress. And it feels, I'm going to go out a little bit because I don't think that's actually helping. So we have our damsel in distress in this card. We have someone who believes that they need to be rescued. Someone who believes that they can't do it themselves. But that's not you. And I'm laughing because part of you wants to be rescued. Part of you wants this to be sorted for you without you doing any work. And one of the things that I wanted to point out is how much green there is in this reading for you. Lots of heart energy, lots of healing, lots of work that needs to be done around the heart. And there's also a lot of free-flowing emotion here. And with the water. And I feel like it's time to let that go. And if we have a look at the storm fields as well with this card, they're both flowing. They're both releasing. So this relationship is not doomed. I'm not seeing the result of your relationship. What I am seeing is the need for you to voice your concerns, to let things go, and not in the way that it might have been done before, which is this aggressive anger communication that might have been happening. This is you coming from a heart space. This is you coming in with love and affection for yourself and your partner. And it's like you're both able to reach new heights if you can do this. If one of you chooses to to put some things into place. So maybe some boundaries, maybe some, okay, well, we can't do this anymore. We can't yell and scream at each other if that's what's happening in this relationship. Put some boundaries in place. Your doubt is not you. Perhaps you may have had relationships in the past where you have, doubted how the two of you have worked. This is not that. And if that's been a past way for you to work with relationships, then know that this is not that. This is the time for you to trust yourself and trust that it needs to be done differently. It may be passionate, it may be exciting. There may be this really good, bond between the two of you intellectually, but emotionally and to fill your cup up. There's no cups here with that emotional fulfillment. So there needs to be this release in this relationship with one or both of you. But I feel it's both of you, because in other readings, there's a lot of, you can see there's a bit of a balance that's not right. This doesn't feel imbalanced. This actually feels like perhaps both of you are very similar, but both of you are going into this particular relationship, pile 3, in a very similar fashion. You're both really passionate. You're both going in with this, some harsh words, and communicating in a style that, because it's passionate, it feels right, but you know that it could be hurting the other person, and you know that it hurts you. So don't doubt what you believe about what might be wrong with this relationship. Do something about it and have this emotional release. Allow this storm to pass through the relationship and the emotions to flow, and you'll both be in a better position, and you won't be doubting. You won't have that doubt in the back of your mind about this relationship and about what you know about this relationship, because you won't be wanting to know, because you will know. You will understand, because it will be flowing. And this energy here, while it's going to feel a bit crap to begin with, it's going to be the right thing that you need, pile 3, to clear the air, to move forward, and to also have different ways of being in this relationship that can still be passionate, exciting, and fast and all the rest of it, but that they come in, that you actually fill each other's cups up, that you allow this water element to come into this relationship so that it can be more balanced, more earthed, more grounded, bring in some of those other elements too. That's all I'm seeing for you today, pile 3. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching. Hope to see you in the future. Bye for now. Pile 4, if you chose this beautiful agate heart, then this is your reading today, and it's a love reading for today. So we have a very pink and purple card for you, pile 4, and not a word that you really want to see in a love relationship reading. I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So I feel like there is a lot of you who are doing a lot of heart healing, pile 4. There feels like quite a lot of intense energy going on around your heart chakra, but also around either your sacral or your base. But there's a lot of pink coming in here for healing. So whether this is you and you don't have a relationship at the moment, and you're feeling like in your love relationships you are a failure, or if there is something going on in your love relationship, so just a part of it that feels like it's not working, then that's where I feel like we're at with this word. But let's draw some cards and see what else, what's going on, how we can unpack this for you, pile 4. And here we have your tarot cards for today. We have the Page of Cups coming in, talking to us about intuition and, third eye and a few other things. We'll get into that in a bit. We have the Emperor reversed, Divine Masculine in the reverse. And then we have the Magician, so someone all about your strengths and abilities and what you can achieve through manifestation. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at what messages we're getting, pile 4. So the Page of Cups came out really strongly for you, pile 4, and I feel like you've been a bit indecisive around love and perhaps about your feelings in your relationship. So I'm being really drawn to the wavy water behind this Page of Cups. And perhaps you feel like you're a bit of a novice, or, you know, someone who's a bit naive when it comes to love, or perhaps that's the partner, your partner. But it feels like there's a lot of emotional stuff that's been going on, and you have been either putting other people's needs over your own, or you haven't been listening to your intuition. You haven't been listening to this little fish popping out of the cup, not paying attention to that little voice within, and particularly where it comes to your emotions and how you're feeling in certain ways. Sometimes we listen to other people and they tell us how we feel, and we take that on board. And pile 4, I feel for you that, yeah, there's this element of you not listening. And then we have the Emperor in the reverse, which again, this is talking to me about that sort of that strictness, that you know, having someone riding roughshod over you, having someone who is dominating or domineering over you, and very fiery, passionate person who is very overbearing. And it feels like that has been something that you've either been living through or still living through, and doesn't feel that great. But I also feel like there's a change coming with that, and I'm not exactly sure how the change is going to come for you, because it's going to be different for each of you. But out of this barren landscape and out of this fiery hotness that's happening either to you at the moment or you have been living through, there's something going that, like, it's a growth period for you. There's something really coming out of the blue, or out of this aridness. So out of the desert, so to speak, something is going to be born. And I keep being drawn to the flowers. You know, something is going to grow from this experience. Whether it's an entire relationship that is come, you know, crumbling down, or the failure of the relationship, or whether this is an aspect of your relationship. But we have the Magician here, and the Magician, it's talking to you about you understanding that you have everything you need, that you are a powerful manifester, that you are able to manifest the relationship of your dreams. Again, I'm being drawn to the lilies in the front, the white lilies. So there is growth happening at the moment in your life, whether you are aware of it or not. And this is you manifesting what you want. So the Magician and the Page of Cups. So we've gone from the Magician, the Page, who feels like they're very inexperienced. You may have had to deal with someone who has been quite overbearing and felt like they monopolized and that could even be a father figure, you know, like it could be in the past for you. But you are starting to understand who you are and your role in your relationship. So you're understanding that whatever you're accepting is what's going to come in for you. Whatever you want to grow is the thing that's going to come in for you. And it's already growing. Like, I just really have this very, very strong sense that if you are not currently in a relationship, or even if you are in a relationship, there is this aspect of your relationship that is growing stronger and developing into what you want, the type of things, because you're starting to listen to your intuition, because you're starting to listen to that quieter voice inside that says, this is what I want. It might be soft and it might be gentle, but it knows what you want, and it knows what it is that you want to take from a relationship. Like, it feels like you've been doing a lot of giving, and it's time for you to start taking from relationships. And I've put some oracle cards down for you, pile 4. And some of these cards have come out today in a couple of readings already. So if you're watching this one and you picked another pile as well as the agate heart, then you may be seeing some of the same cards. So we have Stormfields. And Stormfields here underneath the Page of Cups is really talking to me about how it might feel inside your body. This either failed relationship or this aspect of your relationship that doesn't feel that great. So it feels like you've got quite a lot of internal angst. You've got a lot of and I'm really itching my throat. It's like you're not speaking out. You're not wanting to rock the boat, or you didn't want to rock the boat. If this is a past and previous relationship relating to this, the Emperor here for you, the reversed Emperor. So it feels very much like you not wanting to rock the boat. And again, I'm being drawn to this, the unstable water element here. And there will be some of you who are still making this decision, because the bottom deck energy of this, when I shuffled, is actually the Two of Coins, or the Two of Pentacles. So it feels like for some of you, you're still making a decision about the relationship that you're still in, or you're, sort of summing up things from the past, and you're still mulling over whether you did the right thing, whether you did the wrong thing, or whether you are doing the right or the wrong thing right now, whether this is current or whether this is a past thing. But there is very much this, you wanting to put a hold or a lid on the feelings and emotions that are coming up within you. And you could also be somebody who doesn't like expressing themselves. The Page of Cups is very creative, very expressive, but also a novice at these things. And with sitting underneath or sitting on top of the storm fields, it feels very much like you may not want to express how you're feeling or you may not have wanted to express how you're feeling in the past relationship or the current relationship. And I know I keep talking about past, current, and things like that, but it does really feel like there's two streams in this particular pile 4. And I'm really itching my throat. So I feel like you are somebody who's probably not expressing themselves in the past or the present relationship. I'm just going to keep saying it. And here we have 2 people who I feel like are expressing the same thing to you. Even though I talked about the Emperor in a certain way before, this shows people who actually know what they're doing. So this is the divine masculine, this is the divine feminine. They're both seated. They're both seated in their power in different ways, but in their power. They both know what they want and can make things, get things done. But they're both in the reverse. So it feels like there's part of you that doesn't believe in yourself, and in a very, very strong way. There's part of you that really doubts yourself. And from the first 2 cards, there's that feeling also. But this is a different way. So this is emotionally, and this here is more so what you believe you can get done in the world, your power, your strength. This is you not believing. So some of this failure could be that you believe you're the failure. And, I want to tell you that that's not true at all. That a relationship may have failed, or there may be an aspect of a relationship that is failing, or a relationship that is failing currently. You are not the failure. How you're seeing yourself at the moment is creating that feeling within you. So that feeling is coming up, but it is not how you are in the world. These cards are showing you that's out of balance. You actually have this strength. You have this, let's focus those cards. You have this strength. You have this ability to do whatever it is that you desire in life. You may not feel that you do, but you do. And then the very next cards are exactly that, telling you you have this ability, you have this strength. You have to listen to this all-knowing part of yourself. You have to listen to your intuition. You have to listen to this creative part of you, because it is this part of you that is going to manifest the future that you want. And it is going to be this that gives you the life that you want in a relationship. Oh, hang on. Blow that right out. In a relationship, it is going to be when you listen to your own needs, when you listen to what it is that you want from a relationship, and what this sort of, see this beautiful green here, that's that beautiful heart energy. It's about listening to what your heart wants, singing this beautiful song to another person who again wants this heart relationship with you. And you're able to manifest that. You're able to bring this in. So again, we've got lots of green for the growth. And we're progressing. We're progressing through here, pile 4. We're progressing to the person that you want to be through relationships. And that's a fantastic lesson for you to learn. And that's what this card talks about. It talks about, I understand that a mistake is only an opportunity to learn. So it doesn't always feel the greatest when you're going through a big lesson for you, pile 4. It doesn't always feel the greatest, pile 4, when you're going through a lesson. But the main thing to know is that you are going through a lesson. And once you know that, that's when these things start actually going, aha, I know that I can let that stuff go. I can move on and start developing these things about myself that I know. I can put these things back into balance and start manifesting what it is I want from a relationship, this deep, being held and being listened to, being heard. And that's a big part of relationships. It's time to let go of your indecision and move beyond it. Trust yourself. Trust your all-knowing self, pile 4, that you know what's right for you, that you're able to manifest exactly what it is you want in a love relationship. Well, that's all I'm seeing for you, pile 4. It was a bit of an up and down and a bit of a rocky road, and I do understand that that's not great, or sometimes you don't want to hear this stuff. Please let me know in the comments below if it made sense for you and if it resonated for you. Thanks for watching today. Please give this reading a thumbs up. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and hope to see you again in the future. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.